More pensioners are being dragged into paying tax on their retirement income, and for a growing number of them the bill is now running into four figures. The figures highlighted here showed that more than 320,000 pensioners had been hit with tax bills of £1,000 or more on their state pension income, up sharply from 249,000 the year before. That meant an extra 71,000 people were pushed into that position in just 12 months. The main reason is the growing squeeze between rising pension payments and frozen tax thresholds. At the time, the full new state pension was worth up to £11,973 a year, and it was due to rise to £12,548 from April 2026. That would leave it just £22 below the £12,570 personal allowance, which is the point beyond which income normally starts to be taxed. In other words, the state pension itself was moving dangerously close to the tax line. For many retirees, the situation goes beyond the standard pension alone. Around 3.2 million pensioners were said to be receiving state pension income above the personal allowance, often because they also had extra payments built in through older schemes such as SERPS, or because they had chosen to defer their pension and increase the amount they later received. That helps explain why so many pensioners can end up with a tax bill even if the headline weekly state pension figure on its own still looks slightly below the threshold. The pressure is even heavier for some households than the headline first suggests. The figures also showed that around 15,800 retirees had paid at least £2,000 in tax on their state pension income in the previous financial year, which was up by 5,100 on the year before. That points to a wider trend, not just a small number of unusual cases. The deeper concern is that this problem is expected to keep growing. Tax thresholds were frozen until 2031, while the state pension remains protected by the triple lock, which means it continues rising each year by whichever is highest out of inflation, wage growth or 2.5%. That creates a situation where pension income keeps moving up, but the tax-free allowance stays still, pulling more retirees into tax over time. So the real message here is that a rising state pension does not always mean pensioners simply end up better off. For a growing number of people, higher pension payments are now coming with higher tax bills too, which means part of the boost is effectively being clawed back through the tax system.